In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get more calls for your Google My Business listing by using some practical tips basically. And I've used these tips personally, so these are tried and true methods that I've actually used and that worked for many businesses that I work with. Are you trying to get more calls from your Google business listing? Who isn't? In this video, I'm going to give you some practical tips that I've personally used for many construction companies that I work with, landscaping companies, and all other sorts of companies. These tips are universal and they work for all businesses. But of course, there are only some practical tips that you can apply yourself, and there are some tips that you would need to hire somebody else to do. First, we need to cover a couple of main factors that we need to look at when it comes to getting more calls from Google. So first of all, you can rank higher. So your Google My Business listing, when somebody searches for your services, it shows up, I don't know at what spot, it depends on your business. But in your city, there are probably 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 different businesses. And when somebody searches for your services, they're not just going to see your company, they're going to see a lot of these different companies, of course. Now, the best way and the easiest way you can get more leads is by ranking higher. When somebody searches for remodelers in that particular city, if you are ranking in the, for example, top 5 spots, you are very likely to get a lot of calls. It's important to rank your listing high though, because when your listing is ranking high, you're not just going to get more calls, you're also going to get more website visitors. So even though some niches, like for example, remodelers are going to get a lot less calls than landscapers or plumbers, because when somebody has a blocked toilet, they're just trying to find a plumbing company as soon as possible. And they're going to go to Google and they're going to see a couple of companies. They see the one with a lot of reviews. They're just going to call that company immediately. But with remodeling niche, for example, people are investing a lot of money and they have some vision. They have some ideas that they want to bring to life. And they're trying to find the right company that can help them really improve their lives, improve the value of their home and all of that. So it's really, really important to understand that, because if you're a remodeler, of course, you're going to get a lot less leads than a plumber, for example. But anyway, one of the easiest ways you can actually get more leads is by ranking higher, because even in some competitive niches, people are not going to just see the first company or see the first 3 companies. They're usually going to reach out and take a look at a lot of these different remodeling companies because they want to do their research. So in these kind of niches, it's not even really that important to rank first. It's important to rank well. It's important to be like in the first 5, 8 spots, for example, because in those cases, you're going to get more clicks, you're going to get more visibility. But if you see a company that's ranking horribly on Google, it gives you an idea that this company isn't good, even though it doesn't have to do anything with the quality of their work. Even though like a lot of companies that have a lot of referrals, that have built a really good company, and right now they don't even need to do any marketing. A lot of these companies don't even have a listing, or if they have a listing, they don't even get any reviews and all of that. And if you take a look at Google, like they're not getting leads from Google, but they're actually getting a lot of referrals. So if you are trying to get more leads from Google, it's really important to rank really well. But if you are ranking extremely well, but if you don't improve these other factors, you're still going to get mediocre results, or maybe not even good results at all. Because imagine if your company is ranking first, but then even though this is pretty much impossible if you don't have a website and all of that, but if your company is ranking first and people, when they Google remodelers in my city and they see your company with no reviews, no website, and they see these other companies with less reviews and all of that, nobody is going to call you. Of course, this is an extreme example, but I want to really point this out, because ranking first or ranking really well is not everything. You still need to take a look at all these other factors, but it's a really important one. Unfortunately, I can't give you exact tips on what you should do in order to rank higher, because all these things depend on a different niche, or it depends on your business and all of that, where you're located. So if you want me to take a look at your website, then go to logicalmarketer.net. There's this link right here. I'll take a look at your website, or if you want to work with me and my team, then fill out the contact form and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So those are pretty much some main points that I can give you when it comes to ranking well on Google and why that's important. But what are some of the practical tips that you can easily apply yourself today? Well, second thing that you need to cover, like the second factor, is to get more attention for your listing, basically. Like I said, when you have a company that's ranking first, if it doesn't have any reviews or any other trust factors, it's not going to get any attention. People are just going to skip over it. So one of the best things that you can do for your listing in order to get more attention and get people to take a look at your company is first to have a nice name. If your name sounds good, if your name sounds like the industry you're in, then you're going to get more visibility because people are going to look at your company more. Like if you Google remodelers in my city and you see a couple of companies with weird names and you don't even know what to, categorize them in, then you're most likely going to skip over those companies and you're going to see some other businesses. But if you see a company that has a remodeling name in it or something similar that gives you an idea what this company is about, then you're most likely going to click on that company and you're going to take a look at their website and all of that. So if your name sounds really good, then that's really excellent and that's really, really good. If you're just starting your business, then make sure to try and cover this factor as well. If you already have an established business, what you can do is it's really, really difficult. You don't want to get your GMB suspended by adding some keywords in your business name or something. Even though this was really, really good in the past, you shouldn't do this right now. But it's really difficult. You can try changing your name, but if you already have branding and all that stuff done, then it will be really, really difficult. So it's a major decision, and I really can't give you any specific advice in this YouTube video. Maybe if you contact me, if you really are in this position, I can give you some solutions on what you can do. The second main thing that you should do for your business in order to get more attention and get more calls and clicks and all of that is to get more reviews. Now, don't even worry about the quality of reviews, because what's important isn't really the quality of those reviews. The number is really important. But when people look at those reviews, of course, you want them to be really, really high in quality. But try to get that number really, really high, because if you Google landscaper in my city or remodeler in my city, and you see 3 companies, one of them has 2 reviews, the other one doesn't have any reviews, and the third one has 10 reviews. Most people are going to go and click on that company that has 10 reviews, like the company that stands out. Or if you live in a really competitive area, then try to at least have around the same number of reviews as your competitors, or just have a decent number of reviews. Because if you have no reviews, or if you have very few reviews, it's going to look weird compared to these companies. So try to get these numbers up. Having any reviews is much better than having none. So even if you can't get some really amazing reviews, then at least try to get some. At least try to get a simple 5-star review, because that's better than nothing. And it's much, much better than nothing, actually. Another thing that you should do is make sure that the category you're using on your Google Business profile is the right category. So take a look at other companies. So if you're, for example, focusing on bathrooms, then use the bathroom remodeling category. Because these kind of things are also going to give people a better idea on what you actually do. When somebody searches for bathroom remodeling service, even though this isn't something that stands out, people see it subconsciously, and it definitely helps you get better visibility on Google as well, because you need to properly tell Google what your business is about, and then this will help you rank higher and of course get more calls. Now, this is all about getting more attention and making your listing rank higher. But once you get their attention and once you actually start to get more clicks, in order to get more calls, or at least website visitors, so that then you can convert those into calls, is you need to make sure to cover the trust factor. You need to make people trust you, because if people don't trust you, then they're not going to call you. Even if you covered all these other things, but people don't trust your company, then of course you're not going to get any calls, or very few calls from probably low quality leads. So what are some of the best ways you can actually gain more trust from people when they visit your website or when they take a look at your Google Business listing? The best thing that you can do is to focus on pictures, no matter what your niche is, in most cases, unless you're in some weird niche. But in most niches, like remodeling, landscaping, and similar niches, people look at pictures. If you go to some company's website, you mostly are going to look at their pictures, the pictures of their work, of course. So try to take as many pictures, as many high quality pictures of your work as you possibly can. But again, having even low quality pictures is better than having no pictures, because at least people know your company is real. If you just use stock images, then people see that it's fake. People can sense it. They probably saw it on a lot of other websites too, so it looks fake. It looks as if it's copied, So take some pictures of your work, take some pictures of your crew, your pictures of yourself, write some content about you and what got you into this industry. At least try to write something nice. And then when people take a look at your website, they will get to know you, they will be able to see your work, and this will immediately help you stand out from among your competition, and of course you will get more calls. Now, in order to get their attention, you need a lot of reviews, but in order to get their business, you need some high quality reviews too. So you can take those best reviews and you can post them on your website. You, of course, try to get more reviews on your Google Business Listing as well. And this will help you get more calls. This will help make people trust you. And if you're ranking really decently and you cover all these other steps too, you will get a lot of calls for your business. And again, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave a comment. I'll be happy to reply. And if you want to work with me and my team, we work with a bunch of remodeling companies, landscaping companies, and all of that. So if you want to work with us, head over to logicalmarketer.net. It's this link right here. I'll leave it in the description as well. Fill out the contact form and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching this video. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, then press the like button. If you want to see more of my content, then click on the subscribe button as well, because I'll be posting a whole bunch of different videos on how you can get more jobs as a contractor.